whether you are just a victim of terrorism or terrorism plus something.
This remark is obnoxious.
इस बात का की जांच होना चाहिए. इसमें क्या?
Then this statement is huge fuel for the country which has been extending facilities to terrorists.
Good evening and a very warm welcome to We the People. On a day when the Taj and the Trident hotels in Mumbai have reopened for business. On a day when Ratan Tata said India may be hurt but it will never be knocked down. In a week when India finally got a new anti-terror law that many people are saying is almost POTA but by another name. And also in a week when India's Minority Affairs Minister created a storm by suggesting that a wider conspiracy may have claimed the death of Hemant Karkare, the head of Maharashtra's anti-terrorist squad, for his investigations into the Malegaon blast. On the program today, we're going to debate whether these comments and some of the political debates that have surrounded these issues are actually playing with India's secularism. One of the things that we hang on really with dear life. The minister may have thought that he was actually speaking on behalf of India's Muslims, but in effect, did he really only end up betraying them and embarrassing them? That's something that we're going to look at on the program today. I want to start with Devendra Dwivedi of the Congress, if I may. Mr. Dwivedi, we've seen a very peculiar thing happening, which is that when Mr. Antulay made these comments to begin with, the Congress immediately distanced themselves. But in the last 72 hours, we've seen a more nuanced position entering, with certain members like Digvijay Singh even getting up and saying Antulay's remarks have been misunderstood. What's wrong with what he said? Is the Congress speaking in multiple voices on this issue that many believe is tantamount to a union cabinet minister talking in Pakistan's language?
Not at all. As a matter of fact, when we are discussing Antulay's comments, we have to discuss two, three different things. One is the purport of what he has said and the main thrust. And the frenzied response, which is a commentary on the state of public discourse, which is marked by a certain disbalance and a certain hysteria-mongering. I want to make three brief points.
Hysteria-mongering?
Hysteria-mongering.
By whom?
By those who have reacted.
By the media?
Well, I will, when media included.
Okay.
Media included.
Okay.
Not by
Now, I want to make three brief points.
Okay.
This is a statement we could have done without.
Okay.
And I think that, given his secular credentials, I think that the timing that he chose to express a viewpoint of which he is not the author, but which he has given vent to a certain feeling, a conspiracy theory, which has become an integral part of the contemporary politics. I think that at a time when there is a need of national unity, and there has to be a nationalist response rather than a communal response or a secular response to the problem of terrorism, we have to understand certain fault lines that have emerged in our secular democracy. Here, it has become platitudinous, Barkha, to say that all Muslims are not terrorists, but all terrorists are Muslims. There is an element of factual dimension.
Yeah.
But there is a certain connotation equating Islam with terrorism, which has created a superimposed guilt psyche among the Muslims. At this particular point of time, certain revelations came whereby certain Hindu outfits were seen to be encouraging terrorism and involved in terrorism.
Okay.
And the Indian state responded in a very responsible manner, and officers headed by our martyr, he went about it in a manner which created a certain confidence among the Muslims that the rule of law prevails, and ultimately rule of law will prevail.
May I just...
No, let me come to this one.
Okay.
Now, at this particular point of time, a very tragic thing happened, and they have been eliminated. They were killed. Now, of course, that has to be viewed against the larger context of the failings of the Indian system. But this conspiracy theory certainly disturbs some people. I want to assure the Muslim community that after the martyrdom of Karmarka, there should be no doubt whatsoever about Indian state's commitment to ensure that whether it is Hindu terrorists or whether Muslim terrorists, and Hindu terrorism is not Hindu is
Okay,
equal
I've
to
understood
terrorism.
your point. If I can recap it for you, it's a reasonably sophisticated point in that he should not have made the comment at this time. It was a time for national unity. But he's not the author of the point of view. It actually speaks for fears within a beleaguered community, and that's what we need to understand is effectively what you're saying.